The first report we want to talk about is the health check report. This one is going to have the base or default report of club members, which is this one. And of course we are in reports and then club members, and I have this one saved. Now to put this together, you'll see that under manage filters we're going to select all of the clubs. We want just the active and on holds, and the most important part is going to come in when we do manage report columns. So first off, deselect all, and then we're going to want the club. That's really just for status. The first and last name important, email in case we need to get a hold of anybody because something's going on, plus if there's anything wrong with the account or something's not right, we need to know which account to go into so we can fix it. Pickup is always nice, just so you know if they're a pickup or a ship person. Sign up date, that's going to go along with on holds and retain club privileges. Super important, product discount in shipping. And then the main reason this whole thing is put together is for your club notes and your club source. And then go ahead and hit save changes. Now you're going to pull this report and you'll see on the calendar that I have it on there multiple times. And the reason is that you want to be checking this on a regular basis to make sure that there aren't any notes coming through that you haven't seen yet, because you want to capture everybody's information or requests before you do club processing. So once we go ahead and pull this report, so we're going to export it. Now, the main thing here, first, I want to make the sections big enough so I can see them, but then also, especially if you're using Excel, this is great on PC. On Mac, I'm not sure how to do this part, but on PC, come up to sort and filter, and I want you to turn row 1 into a filter, because we're going to want to filter these columns so we can see what we need to see. So the first thing here is just kind of making sure everything's populated. Is anybody on hold? If they are on hold, double checking that retain club privileges. Now, how do these work together? So on hold, and of course more importantly on hold and retain club privileges, is because if somebody has taken their shipment and they're obviously still a club member, so we want to make sure that they retain club privileges here. That would be a yes. That's what it would say. And that means that they're on hold, but they're retaining the club privileges because basically we just needed to skip them in club processing. They took their shipment, we put them on hold, but then we click retain club privileges so that we make sure that they still get their discount in case they want to buy anything, after the club or anything like that. We don't want to penalize them. If they're on hold and a no, then that's a true hold. They are on hold to a certain date. They are on hold from the club. They do not get their bennies. They don't get any correspondence, and they won't be charged in club processing. So that would be a true hold. So again, part of your cleanup would be if somebody cancels is to double check and make sure that the retain club privileges box is not checked when you're doing that, because if it is, even though they're canceled, they will still get their club bennies. Now sometimes that can be a good thing, that's fine, but it's just a matter of cleanup. Now the next section is the product discount and the shipping discount. This is super important. There should be nothing in here. There should be no additional numbers in here. This is a super secret discount that only affects club processing, and it's on top of the discount you're already getting. So the thing here is if you had a $100 bottle and you had got 20% off, right, that would equal $80. Well, if you put 20% in here, you would think that was going to take off an additional 20%. Well, that's not the case. What the system's going to do is take off an additional 20% of the $80, which is the already discounted amount, which means that's $16, and that's going to come off of there. So now you're at $64 for that bottle. So this is not where anything should be going in there, except for the occasional friends of the owner or the owner. You could put something in here just so they get this discount. But this should pretty much always be 0, and that's why we want these filters here, so that we can go by largest to smallest and make sure that there's no percentage in here that shouldn't be there. Same thing with the shipping discount. This is also only for club, and this is, great for somebody that, again, that's more friends of the owners and all that, and they get a special little discount for that. Now, the main point of all of this, though, is having your club source and, most importantly, your club notes. Now, remember, your club notes are coming from when a club member logs in to the club list, edit club, and all the way down. Here we go. Club notes. So you can see that I had those typed in. I actually typed these in on the ecom side, but they're showing up here. So these are notes. This is a two-way street between here and here. And so that's very important. The other thing to note is that the club notes that are here will get printed on the invoice in every club run. So if you don't want it on the invoice, do not type anything in here, and also make sure it's PC if you do have anything. Now, the idea here, though, is the club notes will come through. You'll take care of those. This is why it's this ongoing. You're going to want to do this on a regular basis. Check to make sure that everything's done, and then what we're going to do is we're going to clear it out. So how we're going to do that is we're going to find that we have a club note. We're going to go into that person's club. We find that note. Perfect. Now, if it's a one-time ask, we are going to do whatever they say, take this out, and we're going to put it over here under Manage Notes. And we're going to keep that as history. But if it's a recurring request, like reds only, whites only, no Pinot, etc., no Chardonnay, whatever, then that's where we're going to take it out of here, and we're going to put it in the source code. Because what we want to do, instead of having a club for every little thing that people ask for, what you want to do is do the white glove, and if you don't have that many people in the clubs, it's easier to move them over. And then you put what those little specialities are in here in the source code. Only you see it. It's going to show up here, and now this becomes a cheat sheet for you to do your customized orders. And do this before the first email, because the whole point here is that you want the high touch, the white glove, etc. So for all those people that are reds only, whites only, you would go through here, find all those people first, go into their club. In this case, you would go into here, and you would make sure that their club only has, or their choices only have red or all white or whatever it is. And then you would go through and kind of just use this as a checklist, and then send out the first email. So when they get it and they see their default wines, they don't have to complain that they've got reds in their white only, or whites in their red only, or that there's Pinots or Chard or whatever it is. So it's a little bit of work, but it is a much less work than having 20, 30 clubs. I've seen as much as 97. You know who you are. And that is just so much work. I don't want that for you. So the idea here is to clean this up. And again, first time ask or one time ask, just move it to Manage Notes when you're done. And then if it's something on a regular basis, then put it here in the club source. So that's the whole point of this. This is more cleanup in the winter and just helping you make sure that the system is nice and clean. But this is something you definitely want to be looking at, and this is why it's on the club calendar so many times. All right, put that together, make sure you're pulling that, and it's really going to help you out.